It's right here. Okay. There you go. Okay. They have some ideas for how I might present a review of Ribbon, and one is to be like, I think I may record like raw green screen elements, just because like there's a lot of limitations to like how I'm doing it here. It's very cropped and it's designed for live. So like, one of the gags I want to do is basically like sort of spoof the intro to Ribbon and be like, um, you know, talk about how like you may need this book, and then like hand it to you, like hand it to I don't like. The only problem is that unlike with the FMV, I do not have a crew off screen to actually reach and like kind of take the book so that you get like the feeling of someone actually like taking it from me, like off or off screen kind of. So instead I'm going to go like this, go like this, and then just literally place it off screen and have a stack of shit over here that gonna freaking fall over. Oh no, no, no! I said no. No means no. Physics do not do this to me. This isn't gonna work. Like I'm not even sure if it's gonna work with having a zoomed out view of me because the green screen, the actual boundaries of the green screen are still there. So, like, am I going to be able to scale myself to be like roughly like this within the space? I don't know. Well, we'll really have to see like how well this works out. Oh yeah, I need to put in, or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't do like all the details. I just did the title card and nothing else. And I don't believe I actually officially established the tags. Yeah, I didn't officially. Fix that so I actually have tags to just copy and paste. So I don't have to type them up every time. Did they put like cyan wolves instead of worlds? What the hell? I'm sorry, I had to do this on stream because that's kind of the only way I can do it. I can't edit the stream details until I start a stream. So I didn't do the freaking output projector because I'm stupid. Well, we're going to see if we resume immediately where we left off. Also, is this okay? This is still weird. Although I need to move the camera again because very good. Of course, my freaking controller gets knocked over. Okay, so we're. I should probably try actually turning on the controller. I just after playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I am incredibly paranoid about turning on the controller before I. So this is unusual that I'm able to rotate it. Well, normally, unless I freaking am using the controller, then I had to switch into cursor mode for some reason. You also see that this is very poorly textured. There's literally a seam in the texture that is very immersion breaking. I am playing on the highest quality settings. It's like the only purpose to picking this up apparently is seeing how shit a job I did at texturing it. Welcome. Did I read all like the small papers? I'm sure I did. What the hell? These are impossible to read. I don't know if there's like any in-game gamma settings. I have to look over here because, oh my god, that is so. I meant to start reviewing this game just so that I could really rip into how bad the books are. Like how difficult they are to read. And like they fixed this sort of in Miss at least Miss 5. Like they basically had like the audiobook effect. Where they just brought in the actors to read the journals from their own perspective with their own voice. And it's actually a good quality of life feature. It's also good for people who are legally blind. I'm not sure why a legally blind person would be playing. A highly visual game like this. Um, I mean, it's not any harder to read it on the screen. It might be a little easier, in fact, in this case. Um, Although I think the main reason why they would even have voiceover is because the cursive is so difficult to read in general. The cursive is a lost art in the age of computers. Like, there's no reason to like know cursive exactly, aside from signing your own name. and my throat is so sore. I'm not even beginning to read this. I have document the. I shall document the curious events that have X. Uh, what the hell is that word? Expanded? Expands? Expare? With myself? That have something with myself. I transpired? Oh, transpired. Okay. Can't even see the cross on the T. Myself, my family, friends, and coworkers. Hartnell was a peaceful mining town founded by my grandfather and nestled within the red rock of the desert in the Arizona territory. With 163 inhabitants, um, heard a mighty explosion in the night of June 27th, 1903. I sent several workers through the town to verify that the explosion had not caused any injuries or damage to mining equipment. They determined and separated. I know I repeated. They returned and reported that it must have been a loud clap of thunder caused by dry lightning, for they found no damage. It was not until the light of the next morning that we were amazed to realize something profound had indeed occurred. At some point during that night, our entire mining facility and a large circle of the land around it seem to have been scooped up and carried off a completely to a completely different place, all without anyone knowing about it. It's not that hard, but like this texture right here is not a great choice. Like reading text in a game should not be a puzzle in itself. I'm very tempted to actually like go into a full review of this game to take these like really. I mean, I think the main reason why um I'm pretty sure like a fair amount. amount of the reason why it was a good idea to have a voiceover for like journal entries and stuff like this in like Mist in some of the Mist games is probably not so much because people were too lazy to like read the books themselves. Is that it's hard to read. It's difficult to read cursive. Like depending on the particular handwriting at play. Like yeah, it's more efficient to write in cursive, but and it looks fancier in general. Although not sure if this is like proper cursive. It looks like it's more semi-cursive. I guess like this is cursive, but whatever. Like it's like when you're designing a background for your text, you need to make sure that it's possible that the text is legible over the background. Now, granted, like realistically, shut up about realism. Shut up, me. Because like even if realistically a sheet of paper could be bent in such a way that it makes the hard text harder to read, realism isn't everything. Like, there's a reason why I have a concept that I call detrimental realism. It is usually a control issue or an interaction issue. In this case, it is an information issue because I cannot read this freaking text. Like, I can, but it takes a great deal of effort. Anyway, the entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien. Large floating rocks could be seen in the distance. No one had ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In, in fact, we soon discovered that take for granted we take for granted now. Not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a high point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing on the very center of the circle. Our central tree that is so important to our lives here was just a mere sapling back then. It's getting easier to read it now that I'm like getting acclimated to the handwriting. It doesn't make it right. This is good handwriting. Okay, Mofang through ambassador seeds. Premium means quality. Premium legal pad. Mofang, through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. An Liang was the first to call the alien a Mofang, impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms. Though they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. As a result, and because of their mimicry abilities, communication with the Mofang is primarily accomplished by They're learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They have been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunraf enough to provide functional, if rudimentary, communication. The Mofang basic external morphologies are remarkably humanoid. Bilateral symmetrical tetrapods, bipedal head with anterior facial features, mouth, eyes, nostrils. Also weird that they drew an arrow too. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusions. Constitution is somewhat frail due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. They have ample cranial space to account for a substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive as evidenced by their advanced technology. They look kind of like Greys. Alright, after a certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at its base. This passage allowed contact with two additional species. Yeah, I wonder if I need to take some more nasal decongestant. Like, I'm not sure if the nasal decongestant is going to help with the itchiness. Like, my nose isn't really running or feeling particularly congested. It's just itching. With some more allergies, and I take daily allergy medication, which is supposed to work for 24 hours. So, ugh, I cannot wait for there to be a thaw, even though, like, we're not even officially in fall until when exactly? I think it's the 22nd this year. Is it? Yeah. So it's a couple more days until it's officially fall. I'm hoping like consistently cooler weather will at least tone down the allergies a little bit. I don't know. So I have to freaking wear a mask while I'm doing a stream and having my voice slightly muffled. Anyway, um, alright, after a certain level of maturity and health, the tree which opened at its base, this passage allowed contact with two additional species. The first contact was with the Arai. The first contact revealed the Arai to be large beetle-like insects. We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have some rudimentary level of intelligence. It was Lurik Tuff who first made the journey through the heart to Kaptar and named both the New World and the inhabitants. The Arai have three distinct variants that have come to be referred to as barnacle beetle and polyarch. Although their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal systems, like all of our neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In the barnacle stage, the Arai are completely immobile. The Arai stay in this egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity to of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetles at a certain stage of maturity. The beetles are the eyes, ears, hands, and feet with only a minimal nervous system of their own. They are essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They are able to execute, 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 execute. Okay, that's really weird. Simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of individual sentience. Array polyarchs are the intelligence and consciousness of the species. Although it was obvious that there was intelligence behind the species, it wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With a room nearby, Farley was the first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. The Arai species survived in their world while several other sentient species came and went. Among them, an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the Arai, carving temples and dwellings for them in the rocks, and later a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. This later species was especially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures such as the beetles as bait. Villain. I mean, do you think they're evil? The villain had been communicating with the Arai for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the Arai. They have a large and imposing frames and a form of communication based on the complex multi-voice low frequency rumble. The initial introductions were intimidating. After several attempts, a, um, a male Vidal was able to begin Amelie ever was able to begin some rudimentary communication, begin visiting the Verlaine in the Mare in the Mare, which she named, on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society that was able to use their technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform their world using extruded structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. Unlike the other worlds, the Villain sphere is scooped out of a Villain resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space and to find a new homeworld. This was their way of life to put themselves in stasis and scatter themselves through the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about 9 feet tall, with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a similar set of arms and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalizations, but over the years they have created control panels based on their number system that allow other species to easier access elements of their technology. Communication, talking with our neighbors. We take communication for granted, even with the varied languages we find here at Hunrath. But when we suddenly find ourselves among other intelligent species who don't share our culture, history, DNA, or vocal cords, it requires a huge amount of effort for the beginning of rudimentary chatting. This quick overview will set the stage for what to expect when communicating with our neighbors. The Mofang were the first non-humans we met with at least some level of similar physical vocal generating abilities. They picked up human words quickly. This early mimicry resulted in what the species came to be called. Even though they were able to mimic single words and simple phrases, it became evident over the years that huge grammatical differences were not easily overcome. Some have proposed that the difficulty may have arisen because the Mofang insisted on attempting to learn every human language, and as a result, were never able to lock onto any consistent grammatical structure. Nevertheless, in spite of the rudimentary sentence construction, it's been very easy to communicate, and it has been unnecessary for us to learn their language beyond a few simple phrases and proper names. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Mofang, please contact Tam. The Valiant presented a particular communication challenge. From what we can gather, they pronounce sounds using 2 large reed-like structures inside the opposite sides of their heads. The vibrations generated are channeled to resonance chambers in their skulls, where they are combined into a complex low frequency dual tone. Low frequency bitonal sounds are not only hard for humans to hear and resolve, but impossible for us to mimic. And the civilians' hearing is also oriented toward low frequency, so they are unable to hear most of the sounds associated with human speech. Therefore, communication with the civilian has relied on technology. They have adapted consoles which the civilian frequently control with vocalization for use by other species. Over the years, some individuals of other species, including a few humans, have learned to communicate very effectively using this method. Humans have been able to pick out some higher frequency characteristics of certain key civilian words over the years, and although we can't speak to them in a way that the civilians can understand, we are occasionally able to hear and recognize these voices with when spoken directly by the villain. If you'd like to learn more about communication, please contact Vita. Alright, none of the stations of derived morphology have any vocalization apparatus because of the obvious synchronization of the particle uh, flash and the ability of the pawns to provide for and address the needs of the polyax. It was assumed that the species could communicate effectively. It was not until Farley began to spend large amounts of time with the polyarch in the polyarch antechamber that the first clues to this communication became evident. After months of research, Farley began to have limited success with receiving some kind of simple messages that were coming from the polyarchs. It is apparent now that the polyarchs had been attempting to communicate the entire time, but they themselves had been experimenting with various channels until they finally got a response from Farley. Farley. I'm sure I'm calling it Farley. After this breakthrough, others were able to tune into the polyarchs and learn to listen. Both polyarchs and the pawns have a simple organ that can sense human vocal frequency, enabling them to sense simple responses from humans. But over the years, Farley was able to learn to speak to the polyarchs via a related form of extrasensory transmission. For more about the communication with the RI, please contact Farley. Need information. Now we're back to frickin' Curse of Hell on a very bright white background that there isn't enough contrast in the black text to read. I'll try my best again. There was a reason why I did not do this last night, and here it is. The Bachelor seeds were first documented about 150 Earth years ago. They occur once every 400 days. If the trees remain healthy, natural seed swaps occur between pairs of seeds that we now know drop simultaneously from healthy trees in paired sphere. When each seed was touched by a species in sphere, the swap occurred, sending an ambassador from each sphere to the paired sphere. Location of the swap is defined by the locations of the pairs of seeds. After the first swap, the seeds recharge quickly, allowing for a quick return. First meetings were intense but naturally short. It was quite a surprise for both the Wolfgang and us. Over time, the seeds required more time to recharge, producing longer visits between species. Fletcher seeds. Everyone who can I freaking like no? Okay. It looks like it's affected by like, the lighting in a weird way. Everyone who arrives is familiar with the collector seeds. The bright light that we were all drawn to right before the event that brought us here is a collector seed. What new arrivers may not be aware of is that These seeds, like all seeds, come in pairs. When the tree drops a glider seed on the ground, it signals that its twin has begun its quest for a new being. A search may take hours or it may take years. When an appropriate situation, a natural threat of death is found, the seed activates and swaps a smaller but varying seed sphere from Earth or whatever appropriate home world here in Hunrath. As Hunrath became more populated, we would watch for a newly dropped collector seed, collect it, and place it in the entry canyon area. This allowed us to provide a more predictable entry experience for new arrivers and provide a single area to collect any resources that may have come along with the new arriver. It's not that hard. It's just this is a very weird setup. Unlike ambassador seeds and mother seeds, question mark, glitter seeds do not seem to survive. The inner core is spent, leaving only the lifeless outer husk. And it? Like, there's no description of the mother seeds. I'm like, oh, there we go, mother seeds. I think this is glitched. Um, Postulated but unverified. First suggested by Alima Hamsa, 200 and 2232 BH. The notion of mother seeds extrapolates the behavior of the lesser seeds to a super seed. She posited that the process that actually created the paired spheres was similar to all other swaps, but on a much grander scale. The idea is that two seeds from a mother tree were separated on the galactic wind to find appropriately similar environments, which, when matches were found, some process was triggered and swapped large portions of landscape between vastly different worlds. Uh, Alima further noted that the trees' locations in the center of the spheres suggested that the trees grew from these mother seeds. Because of the similarities, it has been conjectured that reswapping the entire environmental spheres might be possible with a large scale version of the ambassador seed machine. I gotta wait for my controller to sync up again because I've been using. The controller is a good way to move around. It's not so much a good way to like interact. And great, it's not syncing. Really, you're not gonna sync. So I think this is everything. There's number 15 there. I mean, some of these are definitely not. Um, that's the beetle thing. Um, I wish I could pick these up and like look at them closer. In VR, I can like lean over and actually like look them up close. So this is maybe make a little more sense that we have some context. So seed pair, find plants with similar atmospheres, swap tree from seed, heart. There's earth with Saria Mopang. Seed pair scattered throughout the universe. Why scattering? Heart connected path open when mature. Heart superposition, four species meet. Two kids sitting on a railway. I want to watch this again, and I have.
Hi, I'm Farley. I guess if you're seeing this, then I wasn't able. Just in case. Welcome. But it's probably not safe here. To be blunt, we're getting ready for a battle. I don't know what you'll find. I just thought I should. Just be cautious with who you trust. CW may be here. I don't know. Just be careful. I've got to go. See you soon. And don't panic. As jarring as this experience is, you really will find Hunter at to be a decent price.
Hey, I guess we have no real other option other than to use our speed resets. I haven't really found that many things to interact with. We have this thing. It doesn't really give us much. We did something with the water from the tree. You could try to follow that, maybe. I mean, there's a pipe well, we know leads to the tree, which we can't really follow because that's locked unless it's unlocked now. And this we don't know where that actually like goes. Like, it just turns on this laser thing that isn't really pointed at anything. We can't seem to really move where it's pointed. Or I watched that, so then reveal. No, it doesn't reveal the other paths. Hey, still gotta go for there. And this is just outright seal off. Whatever it is, like, is doing something to the tree or taking something from a tree. Yeah, I don't know what we did there. I had no idea what we could interact with, so we may need to turn the hit glints back on. You have to imagine that there are other things that we can now explore the powers on. I just don't know what. I think all of this is about swapping. They're trying to do swapping on demand. Huh. We can pick this up. It's the hammer. I have the power. That's the sword, not. I don't think we've seen the membrane. I don't think we've seen the tower. We may have seen the power generator. Not sure we've seen the scrapyard and garage one. Maybe just explains the imager. I just looked there about the code. This is about locking everything. Locking the lower tower, locking the upper tower. Lifting my card into the workroom. Turn on Fang Disabler. Pump water from tree roots. So it was already done. As a swing bridge. I didn't enable anything based on Mofang technology. You say this with Blue Beam Cloud is within 1 to 0.5 feet of any Mofang device element. Almost physically collapse reassembly is possible but non trivial. After assurances me that it is not harmful, still pointing in my head. Kuko has not been told that the villains provided it. Okay. Well, we have a little bit of context, but not. Wait, we can interact with this. I think. Ah. We need to cross the streams. Maybe. I have no idea what this does for us. Oh, we destroyed this thing. And we just able to destroy this. Well, good thing we watched it before. Any cables coming out from there? It'd probably be like something about not holding my hand again. Can you disable the red thing? Okay. Um, how the heck do we do that? It looks like there's a path over there. I don't believe we can actually get up here again. It's not even glowy anymore. Do we need to get to the bus stop or something, or? I am entirely stumped. Don't know what this does. Doesn't power that. Also, no idea what this does. Again, there's no immediate feedback, which seems typical of a Cyan game. You'd think they'd learn not to do that, though. see what other things are powered up, what I can do. Maybe. I can't think of anywhere like. There's a lot of places I wasn't able to access before. I still shouldn't be able to access. Yeah, still can't access this. There's a path I should be able to lower later, or shortcut of some kind. I really don't want to consult the walkthrough at this point. Nobody ever looked this way. I can't. We'll go up here. There's some giant spherical thing. Huh. Okay. Leads to nothing. And this leads to nothing. Well, this is good to know. I'm not quite sure what we're learning here. We're finding new stuff. We're discovering new dead ends. Oh. This is making power sounds. Leads us to another edge of the bubble, I believe. This takes us back to where we were. Oh, what did that do for us, though? Okay, so we can. Is it just like a. What is it projecting, though? It's projecting a circle. For a tower, which is right above tree. Is there anything we can make this projectile that means anything? It originally was just pointing at. But this doesn't do anything besides. What we could already get from turning it off, so. Okay, so. Was kind of circling a spot. What? Like, either circling the tower or circling a spot next to the tower. I don't get it. Okay, I can turn it off. But again, like, what can I do with this that doesn't. I couldn't already use it by turning it off? Like, what's the point of moving it? What's the. Well, it's just a projector screen. I don't. Doesn't make it look any different, really. Oh my god, no. I, it just looks like a 15 with a circle in the middle of it. I don't. It seems like the obvious solution. I just. It's not resembling anything. But there has to be a reason why we can spin this around. But yet, I guess just flavor or red herring. Maybe there's another like slide we can put in there that reveals something. I don't know. Still, Well, there's the hammer that's interactable too, so some things are just. Does this mean anything to us now that we've.
We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870 for you. Sam and Vera, you tell it like it was
I flipped it over.
62 years since you saw that blast of light. And that's where all of our news stories began, that light. It streaked across the sky, mesmerizing, but unnerving. Some of you were alone. I wasn't. My dear grandma, God bless her, rejoiced as if it was some forebearer of good fortune. Vera, you said you recall smiling. None of us understood, but, well, we followed. Whether it was in the deep woods like Cecil or right outside town like Jane and Jenny, we were drawn to see more. Grandma lifted me from the carriage on the porch and walked into the yard so we could watch it unobstructed. Even in daylight, Joseph, you said it was gloriously bright. But in the twilight, it was spellbinding. And we all felt some kind of trepidation and yet attraction as we approached it. And it approached us so close, so radiant. And that sound, deep and vibrant, organic. You all remember, there was no turning away. It advanced, almost like purposefully spinning slowly until, well, it found us, each of us. We should tell these stories because it saved us, and there must be more. It was in the middle of the afternoon. I was watching the sunrise. It was about 2:30 in the morning. December 26, 1948. May 7th, 2009. September 3rd, 1995. I was down by the river. I was hiking in the desert, in the park with my grandson. I looked up and saw a brilliant flash of light that exploded in the sky. The light, it flew into the clouds and behind some trees and it disappeared. I looked around and, to see if there was anyone around. See if anyone else had seen what I had seen. There was no one around. They all saw it too. Bob definitely saw it. Well, it was just beautiful. There was something calming about it. Yeah, I don't want to tell you, I was kind of freaking out. I tried to follow it, tried to get a better look at it. I wanted to see it again. I came to a place where it had disappeared, overlooked, but I found nothing. And it streaked through the sky again. It seemed like it was looking for something, or looking for someone. And then it found me. And it found me. Found me. Found me. Found me. Found me. Found me. And it found me.
So we're not allowed. Oh, we can eject, yeah. short tape. We'll listen to it again with text, maybe. Great. Whatever. I don't think it's gonna help me. I don't know what the hell to do next. Like, so far, Hinklet is only showing us what we can interact with. It's not like really giving us any indications of like where what we're meant to do things, or where we're meant to go next. These are a lot of gravestones. I imagine some of these were are old, and some of these are new, because like didn't have the tech to carve new ones. At least where we came in. So far I don't really see like there's anything else new we can interact with. Huh? Didn't notice that before. There's a hint glint, which maybe just when we get around the other side we can interact with it and look the.
This is the tree.
It has been here in Hunrock for as long as anyone can remember. Its health is intimately tied to everything in our little greenhouse, our cell we live in, our ecosystem. It has provided many surprises over the years, including some interesting seeds that you will learn more about. Many have postulated, yet we really know very little about its origins. But we do know it should be cherished and protected.
This is the only place I can do anything. But I've done. I've exhausted all of the stuff that I can actually interact with. As far as I can tell, anyway. Even with paint lights on. There's a button here. Oh! Well, this opens up new possibilities. Uh-huh. I'm gonna freaking. Okay, I've already. Oh, okay, so. Oh, we're actually able to aim it, but we can't really. Ellie, please. I'm trying to. Okay. Ellie, please. I'm trying to figure shit out, okay? Okay, here we go. Although. I think we need to find some place where we can go and turn this thing around. Right? There you go. Um, if we go backwards, we should be. Oh, we might be able to open up new paths. Because with that, I doubt this is gonna do anything. Nope. There we go. I think both these may have the glowy rocks. Although we're not going to be facing it, is the problem. Don't make me turn this thing around. Hmm. Really? I can actually exit here, okay. These doors open. There we go. Can we control these from... Of course we can't. Why would we be able to... Really? We can't step out? Why not? Just some brush? Okay, whatever. I'm so used to just clicking on it and moving. I think the water would clear the allergens from my throat. If it is allergies and not like an actual infection. I'm beginning to think that it could actually be a proper infection. I think we might be facing the right direction now. And in order to turn that way, we had to... Well, we could destroy this thing. Because in order to get this way, we had to back up, and then we're facing backwards again. Wait, what now? In a position where we can do things, I'm pretty sure. Whoa! It does not sound very pleasant. Okay. Does that like open up anything for me to explore? Or at some point we're probably gonna, like for example, be able to lift this thing up. Apparently there's a power plug someplace that we need to. Quite sure what he's talking about there. Huh. Okay, so this wasn't even connected to anything. Maybe it was at one point, but it isn't now. Like there might be a vantage point to shoot at this from. Like sideways wise. That's kind of what we did here. Might be able to. Aha! Really, I have to. Watch, we won't be able to actually get to it when we're doing all of this for nothing. I don't think we can. Kind of there. Damn it, I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. We always have like a way around now. Hmm. And now that's not going to lead to a dead end, so that's going to let me turn around, I think. Okay. I think that must have got it. I wish I could hear like the actual like crack or something. There we go. It's literally open. I'm assuming while I'm in here, there's something I'm supposed to hook back up. Perils of the Sea. Like, um, making mixtures or drink mixtures. I'm hoping these are just, um, uh, um, crash site. Hopefully I'm not gonna get copyright for this. Is that it? There'll be more than this. I wonder how we were thought to die. Like by a light, being struck by lightning or something? What else can we get? Whoa! I think I'm in a different spot. Possibly a spot where there's other things I can do with the tracks. Yeah, I'm in a completely different spot. I'm gonna wrap things up soon. Yep. Maybe this is a pin that opens only if the cart's approaching it. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, shit. I mean, there's maybe some place we can go if we go that way. That just takes me back here. Be some significance to being able to go over here. There's like some red crap we can potentially destroy. And this isn't the kind of game usually where light of the tree. Backup of this thing turned on. I don't think we can interact with anything that's beyond the bubble. Um, I mean, I figured there must be some significance to being able to. There's some significance to being able to take this tram. Nope. There's absolutely zero significance. I mean, there could be eventual significance, but for now, it doesn't seem like there's much in the way of significance. There are some other like little portals here and there that we haven't really checked out yet, though. I should really be taking down notes about what we're supposed to be doing. I think that it'd be great if there was an actual in-game quest log of sorts. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff that's disconnected here. I think the power cord goes into here. So I'm guessing one of our next goals is to find a way inside. This might be the only path that we haven't really through the bubble boundary. I could have just gone for the house. I just realized. Where are we now? Ah, we're up on the other side of the ridge. Oh, we have also some shortcuts. Well, maybe. Ooh, we have to close that now. Although I'm not sure how. Oh yeah, we can go around for the house. Duh. I do feel this isn't the kind of game you can review or analyze the way I do easily on my first playthrough. Like, maybe. Huh. Whoa! Another seed effect? Okay, so this is something like a linking book. Are we ready? Like, I feel like we're not ready for that yet. That's the loading screen. Well, I've got a freaking SSD. An M2. Be a little faster than this. Now we have a whole other area to explore. But I kind of want to unlock that shortcut. Oh, another code. I doubt it's the same code we just used. I can try it and see if it's just the code for everything. Three-digit code. Okay, so how many three-digit codes are there out of 10 numbers? 111. 112. So far, I haven't really had to take a whole lot of notes. Okay? We can. The heck? Okay, yeah. Going down this way. I think I'd probably turn off paint lens. I do feel like maybe it's using hand clips a little too much like a crutch. Like I always just figure like The problem with a game like Skyrim is that like it uses quest arrows, and many times it uses it as a crutch to excuse not giving the player good directions. Like case in point, Maven Blackbriar and the Thieves Guild. You're asked to have a meeting with Maven Blackbriar. You're not told where this meeting is to take. You're not told where this meeting is supposed to take place. The only real hint you have is that there is a manor that appears to belong to her, but she isn't anywhere to be found in it. Literally the only way to figure out where she is to either wander around until you run into her and notice that it's her, or use the quest arrow, which leads directly to her. That is an information negative because you're not being given. It's both a control. It's kind of an interaction negative too because you have well, you're kind of able to disable quest markers technically, but you aren't able to disable the fact that the game is designed in such a way where you really aren't meant to not use them. I think it would be information rather than interaction. I believe this other also offers other avenues of exploration. Also, this is definitely a very Riveny scenario. Close off one path to open another path. It just here is a little more clear. I wonder if this is what he was talking about. Phone? Rotary phone? 5-digit code. This could potentially be a. Now it's 5? 5? Oh, this is a control negative. It's literally. Like, I can't move it. Right? Hmm. Does it matter, like, where I move it from? Ah, okay. That's 0, 1, or 9, 8. This is a very long code, so that's a very tediously. So we can't get down there unless we know the code. Great. So we've opened up a shortcut to a place that we don't know how to interact with. I'm not sure what the power cord thing he was talking about was. But I think the only place that we really have that we haven't explored is the new area. Now, if I can just remember how we got to it, face through here. I can just um. I just want to be really sure I have exhausted everything I can do here. I think it's the way we came in. Yeah, this looks familiar. And there's this place with a combination we don't know. Let's see if I can figure out where that seat thing was. There we go. Okay. So there's a bunch of things you can do to take a few seconds of your time, as well as some other things. There's a little more involved in that, but it's all up to you. I'm not your boss. I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss for you, obviously. But anyway, regardless of all that, I thank you for watching and putting up with my nonsense. And until next time.